Today we are going to speak together how to improve maintenance one step at a time, and what are the steps that are easy to start with, the most easy steps to start with, and what are their importance. We had spoken before about the maintenance system, and today we're going to make one more declaration about the maintenance system. As we said before, the maintenance system doesn't mean that you have a computerized system or a paper system. System in itself is to have some steps that you follow in a consistent way, and these steps will lead you to improve. So that's simply what all the system is. So why we have a system? We have a system to be able to consciously improve our performance. This is equal in life, in any business, and in maintenance, because maintenance is available or is part or crucial part of life and a crucial part of business or manufacturing or industry or whatever. Everything you do, your life, at home, at work, you need maintenance. So, and maintenance grows with time. It grows old with time. It grows out of support with time. You lose your maintenance team with time. You gain new member teams with time. You gain more equipment that you need to make maintenance, to add them to the maintenance system. So as we said, the maintenance is some steps that you do so you can reach a target. So if you are having a restaurant, or if you're having a shop or something like that, if you're having some work to do, regardless, it is the maintenance work itself that when you have a system, then you need to have some steps to follow. So the maintenance system simply starts by recording what you are doing now, recording information, and then intending to use the information, so converting them into data. That's when you intend to use them. That's the data is usable information. We had spoken about this also before. You can retrieve to our videos and to our blogs. You can return back to them. So after that, you start reviewing the data that you had recorded. Then you make some indications or indices, which we had explained a little bit in details in our training courses. You'll find the link in the description box about how to make indices which are customized to you only and helps you to reach where you want. It will tell you are moving in the right direction or in the wrong direction. After that, you can take some conscious improvement decision based on the data. But it starts all with simply recording what you are doing now, recording data information, and so on. So as I told you, we make a system. We try hardly to have a system, a set of steps and procedures that we know clearly it's recorded, and we follow them and record data for them, so we can improve what we are doing. Supposedly, if you say that no, we don't have a system, so no, you have a system even if you don't know. If in any business you have some record keeping, because you need this record keeping for the taxes. You need to have some records for the rental, for the wages, for the health insurance, for any administrative works. Otherwise, you will get lost. Suppose that, for example, you have some raw material supply for your work. So you need to make a record for the raw material to know when it will end, and then to prepare a new batch of the raw material. You need to know where you bring the raw material from, how to store it, which amounts or quantities you need, its price, so you can price the equipment. Even if you say that I will bring the raw material from hand to mouth, when I have a contract, I will purchase the raw material. You need to have a system for purchasing the raw material, so you can get it within the time to make your order. So even without writing this system on paper and documenting it and recording data and trying to improve it, you have the system running. But when we say that you have it as a system, that you write it, and then you record data, analyze it, review it, and then try to improve it. So even if you work from hand to mouth, then you will order raw material. When you have an order to produce a final product, you need to have a system that tells you this raw material, you will get it from which supplier of raw material, and it will tell you also how to cost your order. If someone requests delivery one part or one piece or some pieces from you, how to cost your order without having the raw material in hand in a minimum time. Okay. As the end of the day, the goal is to make a profit, and the goal is to have loyal customers. Okay, supposedly that you have a small coffee shop or small restaurant or something like that, and then you need to extend it to make another coffee shop or another restaurant or something like that. If you didn't record your steps, how to purchase the material, how to run it, the record keeping, the accounting, and all this, if you didn't record this in some small system for your own, the second branch you will start as if you are starting from scratch. Everything will appear as if new to you. But when you have a system for maintenance written, and you need to add one equipment, and you need to add to improve it, then you know the steps. So now we understand how this is related to maintenance and to life, and how it is linked together. Okay, so now we need to give some more examples, what are the best steps to start for improving our maintenance system, which we have, even if we don't write it. So, but we have, so we will write it to make it as a system, and then we can take some steps to improve it. From the important steps to improve our system is the equipment code, because any data or information we record, it is related to the equipment code. When you set an order to make some maintenance activities, it is an equipment related to the equipment code. So we need to have equipment code that is clear to everyone and understood by everyone and used by everyone. If it is not used by everyone, it will create problem and confusion and so on. So we need to have a meaningful set of equipment code and labels so we can reach the correct equipment, record data for the correct equipment, and take actions for the correct equipment. That's one of the crucial systems, and it will help you now when you analyze the data, you analyze the data correctly and you get meaningful results and you make proper planning. We had a lengthy session about in our trainings in Arabic and English about how to code your equipment and the best ways and the different methods, even if you, and how to add to your system and how to make your system adaptable and expandable when you have more equipments or you need to recode it in a different way, and the best leveling of your system and so on. So another thing that now we had the equipment codes, labels, and we had recorded some data for this equipment from the maintenance, from the failures and so on. Then we look for the pattern in our data. For example, you have a sensor that fails every 5 to 6 weeks. Then we need to focus on this sensor and to see how we can, from the data or we had collected, how we can improve this condition. The very first thing, that after 4 weeks, if it fails constantly between 5 to 6 weeks, so after 4 weeks you will go for an inspection. For example, you will find it the lock nut is loose. So why loose? Because of vibration. So you will tighten the nut, so you will give it some extended more life. So you can put a schedule that after every 4 weeks that you tighten. Maybe you put a lock nut. But if you put a lock nut and it is subject to vibration, and the vibration, so it damages it. So you need to look for the root cause of the vibration to eliminate it. You can see how the system improves. It's only for one sensor, but I tell you, the cost of this one sensor is not only in the cost of the sensor. That's we will come to in the next point. Maybe after inspection of the parts itself that you have in hand, after a few failures or something like that, you will find that the sensor is fried. It's subject to more heat than it can withstand. So maybe you put some heat shield or you change it to a higher rating for the withstanding the higher temperatures, and so on and so on and so on. So that's only one example from the value of the data, that you don't just change the sensor when it fails. You had recorded the timing, you find that this pattern is repeating, you analyze the pattern, you analyze the sensor, and then you came to a conclusion. This failure is coming from this root cause. You eliminated the root cause, then you saved not only the cost of the sensor. That's the third important step to make it in your start for establishing a good system or improving your system. To understand your real cost of maintenance. The real cost of maintenance is not only the cost of the sensor. It is the cost of the sensor, the cost of the time of your team who is repairing the sensor or inspecting or the failure, plus the cost of the equipment stoppage, plus the cost of the raw material if some raw material is lost. For example, if this sensor costs $10, $100, but the raw material costs $500, you working them costs $200, and stopping the production for 1 hour or 2 hours maybe cost $1,000. So actually the cost of any spare part, especially if you are working in heavy industry, the cost of the spare part is small relative to the cost of the production stoppage and the cost of the raw material loss or rework. Okay, so but you may say that focusing on the total cost and so on will bring some negative attention to the maintenance work, and everyone will be looking to the maintenance as costing the company too much and so on. No, don't look at it in this way. Anyhow, truth will prevail, and maybe some new manager who understands these concepts who come to the organization, some auditing body who come to the organization and will say that the actual cost of the maintenance is this amount. Maybe if now the organization doesn't understand this concept, after a few months, after a few years, it will understand this concept, and then you need to be ready. You need to take the initiative. Even your cost, or let's say your value of working, will be higher. So you are not working to eliminate only the damage or to save $10. You are working to save operations of $1,000 or $100,000. Okay, so that's the bigger concept. When you save this $100,000 of operations, then you can have a budget. You can trade off to have new members to your maintenance team, to have some outsourcing of activities, to get some training, to get some tools, and so on. So you will have good justification when you trade off the actual value of the maintenance, which is the spare parts, the equipment, the raw material stoppage, the raw material lost, the rework, the lost, and everything like this. That's one of the games we have in our course, to make a game to be able to record which costs are direct related and everyone know and realize, and which costs are indirect. And we play this game in our course, so you can get the sense of direct and indirect or hidden costs. So I hope you had your coffee and you had enjoyed your time, your lunch, your dinner, your life is all well. If you need any support from us regarding setting up your maintenance system, improving it, and having more depth in knowledge, you can ask from our services directly from our website. You will find the email, or from Fiverr, and you can join our trainings. You will find the description box beside the video. You will find links for our training courses and links for this chat to read it once more if you like. See you in the coming videos.